It's a great pleasure to welcome Jeff Hayzlett. He's the rock star Chief Marketing Officer of a big brand, Kodak, and we all know the Kodak moment. Jeff, it's a true pleasure to welcome you.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Jeff, you work for a great company. Kodak has been there for nearly a century, I suppose.
Well, over a century.
Over a century.
130 some years. So.
A great company. Met some challenges when the digital world kicked in, and you're still kicking high.
We've been in challenges many times. I mean, we had them when we first started up, like a lot of your entrepreneurs. I can remember reading George Eastman's biography. You know, when he first started, he had a lot of product failures. Had to go out there and replace all the plates and a lot of the product that he had actually sold to people. So, you know, we've had those ups and downs all through history.
You know, there are a couple of challenges. One is Kodak is a huge, huge firm in terms of recognition worldwide. Then you have this technology evolution, and the pure technical companies come in and take over a lion chunk of the share of the market share. How do you think you respond? Because it's a huge company, it's a huge brand, and you have to take care of your reputation.
Well, that's what companies have to do. You have to be quick and nimble. And if you're not quick and nimble, then other companies come and nibble at the ends and sides, and pretty soon they eat the body away. And that's in essence what happens here too. So you have to watch out for that as a company, and you have to have a very innovative spirit and then be nimble as well. We kind of lost some of that. You know, it's kind of liken it to going out and hiring a personal trainer and get back into shape, you know, and we don't look like we used to when we were 20, but we're better than we used to be. So it's a lot of that. And so companies, you know, it's a good lesson for companies to make sure that you have that nimbleness, you know, you're light of foot. At the same time, you've got a real hard core behind you in terms of, like for us, our imaging science and our material science for Kodak. That's very, very important.
People saw you a couple of weeks ago on the Donald Trump show, and it's a big plug-in, and they said, you know, well, we love the brand, but the technology isn't there yet. We wish that Kodak is almost there.
Those are the wrong people looking at the wrong technology. I mean, we're one of the biggest innovators in imaging science there is in the world. Most every camera uses our technology inside. You look at our new video cameras, which have HD quality video, 1080p. No one has 1080p, at least most of our competitors don't. They're only shooting in 720. We have 720 as well. And we have a 5-megapixel still camera in it. And they're waterproof. I mean, we're putting share buttons on cameras and facial recognition into cameras, up to 5,000 photos. So to say, if someone say that their technology hasn't caught up, well, we invented it, so I think we're already there. It's just a matter of you not knowing it, and that's a different issue. That's a marketing issue, and I'll take that one and own that one, that we haven't done as good a job getting the word out as we should have, and now we're doing it. But, you know, we had to make some transition, and we're through that transition, and I think Kodak has its mojo back, and it's there, and people knowing about it.
So that was my next question. As the Chief Marketing Officer of a huge brand like Kodak, where do you see the most important role played by you?
I think the biggest role that I have at a company is creating tension, mostly inside the company, and that causing a good tension, not an overbearing tension, but a tension where it pushes the envelope. So we're constantly, you know, saying why can't we do this? Why do we have to do it this way? Whatever those things are, and a lot of times they're the silos that I'm trying to break down between the various businesses, and so that's my job. And then it's to serve as a cheerleader, both internally and externally, to work the seams between the business and solve problems. I mean, that's the role that, you know, that I play inside the company. And then as an organization, you know, we exist to drive sales, get greater margins, and have great customer satisfaction. Those are the three main goals that I think we should play as a marketing team. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of that.
You had an opportunity today to meet a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, established entrepreneurs, or veterans, and there's a lot of synergy. When you look at these entrepreneurs and you look at your huge brand that was built, you know, over a century ago, do you draw some parallels?
Oh, without question. I mean, you see a lot of George Eastman sitting out there in the room, and you see some people that've got some great passion, which, you know, we have to have in our business too. So you see a lot of that. The difference is zeros, is the way I describe it. Even I have a book out called The Mirror Test, and in there I write about scale as the new black. And what I mean by that is my father-in-law asked me, Jeff, I don't get it. You're working, you know, you used to be in the small company, now you got this big company like Kodak. He says, how do you handle it? And I said, well, it's just zeros. the same things that are good for a small company are good for a big company. It's just zero. So I had 27 employees here. I've got 27,000 employees here. I got million here. I got billions here. And so that's the, in terms of the parallels that you see between the two, it's not long before those will have billions right here in this room, and there were some very good ones.
When we look around here in Silicon Valley, most of them are technology startups and technology successes. So the factor, the chutzpah, is not there as much. And you come from a big brand where everything about it is PR out there. I'm sure there are different challenges.
Oh, sure.
So I just wanted your take and,
Well, I mean, I love, I sat in a room years ago with a founder of a company who was my partner in a tech company, because I've been in tech companies and did startups right here in Silicon Valley and have worked with major companies and small companies. And he turned to me one time, and the guy was one of the smartest guys in the world, had retired from another big tech company, made it big. It was like the number 13th employee in the company, and cashed out. Then he worked in this new company of which I was a partner in it, and he turned to me one day and he says, you wouldn't have a job if it weren't for me, meaning he invented it and was smart and he was the tech. And I turned back to him and said, you wouldn't have any product and couldn't sell it if it weren't for me. So it would be nothing. And so really the tech and the marketing have to work hand in hand, and they have to work very closely, just like product development, just like the chief technology office, just like marketing, just like sales. All those are intertwined, and you can't have one over the other. So I think the lesson that most folks need to learn in the Silicon Valley is go get expertise. You got a heart problem, go to a cardiologist, not a general practitioner. So go find great marketers who can help bring it to.
So entrepreneurs say that it was never the money, it was always the dream and the product and the belief in the service. Yeah. But when you look at the generation X or Y, whatever you want to call them, it's always about the attraction. They see Donald Trump, they see Larry Ellison, and they see Steve Jobs. So it's about the status, it's about the possessions.
Yeah.
And that's what they try to chase, and more than likely they fail. What is your take on the success mantra?
I think the money is how you keep score, but that's one thing. I mean, it's one way to do it. But I really think there are three things for me that I look for. One, I want to grow professionally. I want to, whatever I'm doing, I want to learn, I want to be excited by it and grow professionally. Second is I want to build wealth for my family. I mean, that's how we have to take care of our family. And I want to live comfortably. I want to, do the things I want to do. And the third, I got to have fun. And so if I don't have fun, if I don't have all three of those things, I'm pretty much out of those businesses pretty quick. If
you can lay out for us inspiration, your heroes, so it could be heroes on one side and the role models that you follow, the trailblazers, who would they be and why? Well,
I tell you, you're going to find most of my heroes are one, family members, and then people you'll never know who they are. Now, I talk about them in my book, The Mirror Test, but first of all, my parents, and then their spouses. My parents divorced and remarried, and they brought me into their lives, and my brothers and sisters, every one of them do something special. We all have our role. We all can't go on television. We all can't do those things, but my brother is the best at what he does. My sister's the other best. My other brothers are best at what they do, as crazy as they are sometimes, right? But my parents worked very hard to get us where we're at today, so I owe them a lot. The other people that I find that are my heroes in life are people like Michael Connor, John Timmer, Mr. Pinson, Harold Jones. These are people who had a profound, played a profound role in my life at a certain time in my life to get me to the next stage. Unsung heroes, and I think most people, if they look back, that's who they are. Now, there's other, celebrities or big business people that I learn from and respect, but my real heroes are those people, and they're usually unsung.
Jeff, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much, and keep doing this. This is an absolutely wonderful conference and a wonderful place and a wonderful organization.
Thank you again.
Thank you.